Hi folks, we're here today to share with you the Pirates, the collectible strategy game. This is a game that Wizkids put out, lasted a while, and basically it's a fun game with a group of people. For there's different types of ships. There's your 5-mast, your single, your 4-mast, your 2-mast. You have ships that can oar, catamarans, resail. The entire point of the game was for you to sink your opponent's pirate ships. The way you sink the opponent's pirate ship is by measuring your cannons with the long or the short, and you roll a d6. The measuring tool was on the back of the ship's card. For example, the Lady Scorn here, which is this ship, a foresail. Your stats for your ship are on here. You have your cannons, your sails, which are your cannons, your treasure, and the movement. So the movement would be 2 S's. So you'd measure the ship to move it across the board. As you can see, each mast is marked with a dice. That is the dice and the color that tells you what you need to hit. And this is what the measuring tool would do. So you'd measure this mast to the other ship. So this mast can fire within this range. As where this ship has a short, it cannot hit that mast. As where this mast here is a short, can't hit. And this is a long, can hit. And a short is the back. So none of the cannons of this ship can hit this one. But these two cannons here can hit this ship. Now if they were like this, they'd be out of cannon range. Each ship has a cargo. This is the treasure you can carry or how many crew you can carry. This has 4, and it's a pirate ship. So you can only put pirates upon the ship. So we could place Captain Jack, who is crew pirate, who is the link to all pirate ships. So he would take no cargo, and the ship would still be able to carry 4 treasure. And Captain Jack, if you assign him for 6 extra points upon the ship, he will give the ship the ability to move and fire. Captain Jack, there were other types of characters you could use. Americans, which the Americans had that. You had Brits. You had Cursed. Each one was assigned to different ships. And in the back would tell you which crew they'd be assigned to. One other type of card is your treasure, and it also came with a secondary crew. This one counts as a pirate. Sometimes you would pick up treasure when you got this treasure card and it'd have a special like magical item, potion, something cursed, to kind of flavor up the game. The game was to explore islands. And you got these little paper cutout shapes of islands. But they also came with, on the opposite side of them, as you can see, there's a reef, but at the same time can be used as an island. So you could place a reef, or like whirlpools, along the treasure. They had glaciers, fog banks, Saragosas, moving turtles even, trading lanes, and whatnot. So the entire point of the game was to get treasure, and get it back home. So you'd go to the island and you'd explore it, you'd pick up the treasure, which would be one of these numbered cards. You see on the back there's the coins, placed face down on each island. Both players can play with what the rules say or agree upon putting more or less upon the islands. And so you spent a turn, you deployed, you go get your treasure, then you leave. The opponent could then put another ship on to stop you. He couldn't fire over islands, but he could come over here and fire this way. Or you could never fire over islands, but you can fire over terrain. So you could have a ship battle this way. Or a ship battle stuck in the reef. Or you could use the whirlpool. Let's say you're on the other side of the thing. Use this, and if you have Captain Jack to move and shoot, you could pop up over here and then fire at the back arc of the ship as a move action. Each ship's hit points was designated by how many sails or masses it has. The Flying Dutchman here has 5 sails, as where the Lady Scorn has only 4. And then the Catamaran here has only 2. But there are also ships with 2 that are here, and even ships that are so small that they're even 1-sail ships. And the object is you knock all the sails off, and basically that's there. The secondary shot to sink it would be, boom, the next round. Or you leave it there derelict, just floating at sea. And then you could tow it back home, as long as the opponent hasn't sunk that part yet. But ships like, let's say, the ore ship can basically lose all the sails and then have a short to go back home because it has oarmen. But with my time playing it, what I've discovered is this game plays better with 4 to 5 players instead of 2 players. Because 2 players tend to figure out the tactics of each other real fast, and unlike chess, the predictability rate of who's going to win is going to be who has the better ships, or who's closer to the islands, which each person is going to set their islands as close as possible to themselves. But when you have 2 other players at the table, they bring a certain element of, do I want to get treasure or do I want to attack the player at the other side of the table? And then join up with other players and knock each player out and then pick up treasure as the game progresses. And basically, you play 3 islands, plus you agree on how much terrain we play. Me and the group I play in currently have been playing 3 islands, 10 different random terrains. And then we go from there. Because it fills up a big table real fast, and it makes it like a big map of the world, instead of this huge space of emptiness where the ships can casually move about and pick up treasure and not be impeded by terrain or islands or opponents' ships as much. But in finishing, I do recommend checking this game out. It's a pretty fun game to play with friends. Just like Magic the Gathering, multiplayer is pretty fun, and it includes everyone at the table, not just one player. And the predictability rate of who's going to win is a lot different than figuring out who has the better deck. So I do say check this game out. Pirates, or as it changed later to Pirates of the Cursed Sea. So, until next time, and the next game we're going to share, this is Wasteland TV signing off.